Micro Center, the largest independent retail computer operation in the country. MEI, the fastest growing computer direct marketing organization in the country. Micro Center and MEI are recognized by the general business community as well as the computer industry as one of the most outstanding success stories of all time.
And today we're going to travel through time. Literally, we've got original ads going back to the early 90s. We've got some marketing material going back to 1987.
Before me and Nick were born. Literally.
I was around.
Yeah. But I don't even think you were really perceiving much because you were what, like 5?
No, I was 6. I had already built a computer by then. Anyway, we're gonna kind of time capsule this today. We'll look at some current ads to compare how things were back then, maybe do some price comparisons, and we're gonna kind of take a trip through this 14-minute marketing / advertising reel that was thrown together by Micro Center's corporate team to kind of get excited for the kickoff of the Santa Clara store happening probably by the time you guys have seen this.
Hey, Jay. Jay. Jay.
What?
We got work to do.
Yeah. I'm playing World of Warships. Yeah. World of Warships is the free-to-play naval strategy game where you command the most iconic and famous warships from World War I and World War II, recreated with stunning detail and accuracy. Build your fleet while participating in various game types while upgrading your ship's arsenal along the way. New players who sign up using my link below will receive an exclusive starter pack to get you up and running quickly by receiving 7 days premium time, 1 million credits, 300 doubloons, and the Tier 5 premium ship, the Exeter.
So what are you guys waiting for? Start sinking ships with World of Warships by heading to the description below and getting your freebies. Okay, so first of all, I guess I have original sheets right here. What do they call them? Broadsheets, that's what they call them. There's a little note on here that says, hey Jay and team, these broadsheets are from the early 90s. One of them does include the old Santa Clara address. Be sure to say it's old, because they are, again, coming back to Santa Clara. Please send back when finished. So, we have to take care of them, because they want them back. Anyway, we'll start with the video, but one honorable mention right here is, hey, check this out, 3.5-inch double-sided, high-density 3.5-inch floppy disk for 15 cents each. Look, we might be making fun of some of this just because of the time difference we're talking about here, and most of this is 1987. The store opened in 1979, at least according to this right here, since 1979. So it'll be.
So the store is older than you then?
The store is barely older than me.
Yeah. Dang, that's crazy though. Dude, those fisheye lens shots, man.
I don't know about you, the first thing I notice when I look at old video is I look for the cars.
Micro Center.
The cars tell me.
Yeah. Everything's boxy.
One thing we noticed by looking at the wall says programs. And Phil was like, when's the last time you've seen it referred to as programs?
Well, at first you were like, when's the last time you...
Program.
Yeah, when's the last time you've seen a software section anywhere? And then I was like, dude, when's the last time they called it a program, not an app?
It makes me feel like I'm watching halt and catch fire. The old TV show.
Yeah.
100%.
The crazy thing is that kid is probably my age that they're holding.
Yeah, you're right. Dude, the glasses were so huge.
Oh, that cut, I love it.
Yeah, on beat. Oh my god, that
That
hair.
looked like Wozniak.
Just big glasses.
Wozniak.
Yeah.
The funny thing I mentioned to Phil is if you look at the background, this looks like every Micro Center store up to just a few years ago when they started the remodeling. Because they all looked like you walked back into the drab beige 90s and 80s. It was kind of gross.
They were definitely, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
See, again, I'm gonna pause right here. The store right there looks exactly like
Yeah.
some of the stores still look today because they haven't all been remodeled. We're really spoiled with the remodels, you know, that we've been to, and the new stores. That looks exactly like those. Like anyone watching right now, I think Jersey hasn't been remodeled yet, like Pearson or whatever it is, Pearson, Jersey, or whatever. I don't even think the Ohio store, the home store, has been remodeled yet. I could be wrong.
Dang.
But they look just like that still. If you're watching this right now and you live near a Micro Center that hasn't been remodeled, please comment down below which store it is and whether or not this still looks like that today. That phone with the shoulder.
Yeah, the shoulder mount.
that like AT-XT type machine right there though. I had one of those though. That's the crazy part. That dude looks like he was completely caught off guard by the photo.
I know.
Like, huh?
Because Marty Wicks was highly
Dude, tallest
It's
tower.
like, no, that's like a 286 or a 386 or something. I swear to God, we had one of those.
I love that nowadays, an SFF with an ultra wide is just the polar opposite of that. The computer's all tiny now, but the monitor's freaking gigantic.
It's funny because all of this is from before you guys were born. But I was already 6.
And then, another young man carried the printer to my car.
Dang. They don't do that anymore.
Yeah, they do. Actually.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Micro Center offers to help you bring this up
That's
to your
funny.
car. Oh, that 240SX though.
Ooh.
Is that a 240 or an MR2?
That looks like an MR2.
Might be an MR2.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's new.
Dude, see, that's why all our necks were messed up, because the monitors were so low back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to call it. Yeah, we're going to call it. Where's my phone?
We have a special promotion today for select callers. If you are over 50, please press 1 now. If not, press 2. Hello and congratulations. Just for calling today, we're offering you a free medical alert device. You know, it's a little lifesaver.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
I feel attacked right now. Great. I'm definitely gonna get 17,000 calls now. I recommend you don't call the number.
Yep,
Unless you
that's-
want to be getting spam calls or more spam calls than you're already getting.
Clearly a scam.
Her name is Roxanne. She was very pleasant to talk with.
Roxanne.
You don't have to put out your resume. She's like, shut up, I'm on the phone. Look at her ear. I want to know if any of these employees are still at Micro Center.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Now I know Rick, the CEO, back then was not CEO. Obviously, he was like a regular employee. That's the thing about the CEO at Micro Center. A lot of people don't realize. Rick, he made his way from like sales associate all the way up to CEO over the years.
That's so dumb. Premium diskettes.
Premium diskettes.
Not even,
Special introductory offer.
Discs, dude.
Premium diskettes, 29 cents each. Lifetime warranty.
Dude, the editing, I love it.
I'm wondering if that was the CEO back then.
Yeah, they keep showing them.
Or one of the founders or something. Because this isn't even 10 years after they opened. I've been in YouTube longer than they had been opened yet by then.
Wow, that's crazy.
100% satisfaction guaranteed.
That is a bold choice, Cotton. I feel like everyone we're seeing in these videos is exactly what people still think computer nerds look like today.
Yeah.
What?
100%.
Just a random dude under a table.
He looks like one of the guys in the caddies in Caddyshack.
Oh my god. I want one of those mugs. That'd be so sick.
It looks like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Getting down with the music, man. It's like you got pulled into the printer.
That's funny.
This is 10/17/87.
Dude, $13.99 and 87. Okay.
You saved $800. It would have been more. $4,000 computer back then.
Wait, and you saved $800?
Yeah, so $21.99.
20. Oh my god.
$6,209 in 1987 money. They're not even color.
Yeah, but you could do spreadsheets, dude.
But listen what they say. That this is one of their TV ads, right? Listen, it uses pictures and words.
Unlike other computers, Macintosh combines pictures and words for ultimate ease of
Yeah.
use.
Because that came out around the time like all you had on computers was text. And
Yeah,
like a
that was
DOS type
the
of-
Mac's whole shtick was the
Yeah.
GUI.
How weird to see a price off of MSRP where we're so used to seeing that much added to MSRP these days. The news around the world today. Reminds me of like,
The Indiana Jones, like, the little show before the ride.
yeah. You're entering the Temple of Doom. That plaid wallpaper though. All I see is Doogie Howser MD right here. Model 25.
IBM?
IBM and Microsoft.
Totally looks like IBM was like, oh crap, we gotta do something like the Macintosh now.
Yeah.
I like how in this one, though, they actually put the monitors on top of the computer itself now.
The monitor is the computer. Like,
On that, yeah, on the
Yeah.
Model 25.
they're like a all-in-one.
Yeah.
The apples were separate.
For like the past ad, you had like the monitor here, the unit there, and then
Yeah.
the keyboard attached to the unit.
Wow.
That's
okay. My, how things have changed.
I'm still laughing at the $6,200 freaking Mac.
Okay, so we got some old, what they call bulk what were they called?
Broadsheets.
Broadsheets. Yeah, these are just like, you know when you would walk into, I think Best Buy used to have these even not that long ago. You'd walk in and have the stack of all the sheets and it's whatever the current sales are, or you would get these in the mail or whatever. Let's start with the old school newspapery looking one here. So let's find some notario. Oh, there's a tear. I didn't do that. I didn't do it. Okay, first of all, let's find the date for this because we need to be able to do our price comparison.
Oh, yeah.
Christmas Eve, 97.
Okay, so I'll just do it. Yeah, 1997.
Okay.
I was a sophomore in high school.
I was 9.
I was like in first grade.
Compact Presario 4840 for $2,200.
So 40.
Now only $2,200. It's got a Pentium 2. Hold on, specs. 266 megahertz Intel Pentium 2 processor with MMX technology, 32 megabytes of sync DRAM, or so SDRAM, 6.5 gigabyte hard drive, 512K pipeline burst cache.
You're a burst cache.
ATI Rage Pro 3D graphics, Dolby Digital Surround, JBL 3D Virtual Theater, and a DVD-ROM. Let's talk about laptops real quick. So again, Compact Presario, this is a $2,500 laptop.
Dude,
I cannot, first of all, what's the price of this? $5,000. Dude.
Dude, wait, no, yeah, so that's Brian's new laptop.
Yeah, so I just bought my best friend a new laptop, which was $4,500 after sale, which I got from Micro Center of all places. Yeah. But look, $5,000 back then, you got 12.1 inch high contrast STN display.
Dude, it's a TN. That was when TN was new.
166 megahertz Pentium processor with not even a Pentium 2, just a Pentium because it's a laptop.
Yeah, but it has MMX, bro.
But it's behind. So upgradable to 233 for like $1 million more probably.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, wait. To $37.99. Holy crap.
7,600
bucks.
Dude.
Dude, power spec systems have been around since then.
Wow, that's so crazy.
It makes sense. It would be like what they've always called their internal systems, right?
That's dope.
You should look up real quick, like what is the average income in the US in 1997?
Median household income in 97 was 37 grand a year.
Yeah, so you'd be spending 10% of your income for that one computer. Things were expensive back then. Okay, Comanches 3.
Dude!
XCOM Apocalypse.
I'm still sad that
Redneck Rampage. Oh, I remember that game. Oh my god, $40.
X-Wing versus TIE Fighter.
Dude, the games
45.
are just as much back then as they were today. X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. I like how Leisure Suit Larry's under action and adventure. He was on the adventure for action is what it was.
Yeah. You wanna talk about Apple tax?
Holy
wait.
The Apple Mac PowerBook 3400 was $4,500 or $9,000 in today's money.
Yeah, but that's 240 megahertz, so it's still faster than that PC.
But only 16 megabytes of RAM because we know how much Apple today is still stingy with the RAM. It looks like the most expensive thing on there was going to be that MacBook, that Mac laptop. So what are these here? These are 91.
Oh, dang!
So we're in 1991 now. IBM VGA photographic display with 640 by 480 and 256 colors. 16 or 32-bit, 8386SX,
So 386.
2048K or 2 megabytes of RAM, two 16 gigabit slots.
Gigabit!
I can't even put my brain in the right context. Two 16-bit slots. Oh, it has a clock and a calendar built in.
Dude, for $1,600?
Has a parallel printer port, a headphone jack, easy to reach front controls, a 1.44 megabyte floppy disk drive, and an 80 megabyte hard drive. And includes 2 free hours in orientation with IBM. 2400 baud modem. 2400, so 2.4K. Yeah. $1,600 or $3,800. Oh, dude, it's a store map! Dude. Holy crap, it's a store map! Oh, I feel like I'm playing Where's Waldo.
Yeah. I know.
Where's Jay? Where's Jay? Okay, I gotta be careful with this. Help me flip it. Jeez, it's big. Careful now. Wait, $4,649 in 1991 money. It's before a laptop was really
it's a portable
thing.
Computer, right? Yeah.
Power and performance and motion for advanced computing anywhere. It has a high-speed 20 megahertz 386 processor.
$11,000.
Jeez. 16 gray level gas plasma display.
Holy shit!
Built-in VGA for high quality graphics and text. Standard 4 megabyte or 85 NS, expandable up to 16 megabyte. Detachable 100 key keyboard.
Crazy, that
2
monitor.
expansion slots. Dude, that is the most expensive thing on here. People like, laptops are dumb. It's like, but there's plenty of people that need them.
Yeah.
And that's never going anywhere. Okay, so here's another 91 ad.
I'm still laughing at the fact that it just says mouse. Like it's not a brand of mouse,
Oh yeah,
it's just
mouse. Remember when I told you that that story about when my parents told my sister and I they were going to buy a mouse and we thought, my sister and I started getting an area for a cage ready because we thought they were bringing an actual mouse home.
Oh my god.
Chuck Yeager's Air Combat. Oh my god, I played the crap out of that.
Wing Commander 2.
Dude, I feel like I've been waiting for Star Citizen since this game came out.
That's probably when they started development on it.
Pistol stick!
Oh, I had a pistol stick. They broke easy though.
Well, you play with your joystick too hard.
How many years old is this now? 34 years old is this paper. Dude, that's why I feel like I'm handling, I feel like in the movie National Treasure,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
finally got a hold of the thing.
Declaration of Independence. It's literally
The
all those
Oregon
fight
Trail,
scenes are so
30
sick.
bucks.
The original Oregon Trail? You can download it for free now in the App Store. There's Simant.
Did you actually play Sim?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's funny because you had to prepare and get your ants brought back in when things like inclement weather would happen, or the lawnmower would come. Like you would just get lawnmowered over, and the thing was
$100 to be an ant.
No, here's the thing. If the lawnmower went over you, the lawnmower would go by, and you just see ant body parts everywhere. It's just chop you up. We've never been this careful with paper before.
Yeah. Well, because the paper's older than me and Nick.
Yeah, the paper
Not me
is,
though.
The paper is me.
The paper would have as much gray hair as I have if it were a person. So this one's the supplies and accessories ad. Dude, a fax machine.
Toshiba fax machine.
Last time we saw a fax machine.
These are printer ribbons.
Yeah, for like the dot matrix printers and stuff. How else do you think it goes?
I didn't. I was still a fetus.
You never had the experience of listening to one of those things go? Find an audio cue for him to hear. That's how they sound when they printed. Wait. You never had the pleasure of listening to one of those and realizing you made a mistake and then you have to print again?
And then you have to tear the stupid holes off, and then half the time it would just rip the page.
You have to hope you don't rip the page.
Yeah.
All right, I think this video's gone up. Here you go. You pulled that back up. Gone up long enough. I think if anything, this gives you some eye-opening in that things were relatively expensive back then for sure.
Yeah.
Still relatively expensive today, but you get what I feel like is so much more for your money.
Nowadays, yeah.
I guess
for
back
sure.
then you wouldn't know that you like. That was top of the line back then, right? Like that dot matrix printer back then. That was so fast. I think that's the major takeaway from this is how expensive games were then versus today.
Yeah.
But you did own the game back then.
Yeah, you got to keep
that's a
it.
good point.
You can share it with
You
your
just
friends.
put it in your disk drive
Yeah.
and it plays. You don't have to think like, oh, they're gonna shut down the servers because they're not lucrative anymore. Nick, you're the youngest one here and have probably not experienced most of this. So what are your initial thoughts like looking at these prices and the tech specs of back then?
It's a good thing I was still a baby back then, so I don't have to worry about it back then.
Again, it's all relative. I'm over here like I'm the old fart at this table, but there's people watching this going, Jay, you were just a twinkle in your parents' eye in 1966 when I had to unlock a door to go into the hard drive.
I'm simultaneously glad that video game average prices are like $60 now instead of 120 for new releases.
It kind of
but-
feels like they've been able to keep the price point like around the same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
As the inflation happened.
kind
I
of
think
great.
the most polarizing thing for me was those expansions were just as much as a game, but
Yeah.
like I know back then you were getting basically a whole nother game.
You
on
were
top
getting
of it.
you were getting true add-ons, not carved up pieces of
Yeah,
the game they're designed
yeah.
to sell you later. All right, well, speaking of carved up, Phil has to go carve up this video so that you guys have something cohesive to watch. Thanks to Micro Center for sending us these old broadsheets to take a look at and the old archival videos. Those were, man, it's fun to look at that sort of stuff. But don't forget, Santa Clara is opening. Actually, by the time you guys see this, it will be open. I will
Not that address.
not that address. Go to the website and you guys will see it. Also, too, it's kind of been leaked out there. There is another store opening that people have figured out because there's a permit that went on the window and people were like, holy shit, Micro Center's coming too. Go and look it up yourself. But there's another store out there that hasn't officially announced, but it's already been figured out. And I probably wasn't even supposed to say any of that, but the cat's already been out of the bag. So with that said, I will be up at the Santa Clara store on the 20th and the 21st of June. So also guess what I got? I got hit up by someone and I still have to respond to the email. They're like one of the museum curators for the USS Hornet at Alameda.
Nice.
And said that not only will they give me a private tour on the ship and places you're not allowed to go, I can even spend the night on the ship.
What?
I bet you it's haunted.
I thought this was like related to Micro Center somehow, and I was like,
No, but Alameda's right there in the bay, right? Alameda's north of San Jose. Where do you think Mythbusters did all their stuff?
Are you gonna fit on the bed on the boat or not? I don't think you are.
It's an aircraft carrier. I can sleep in the hangar bay, okay? Jesus, way to fat shame me.